So here we are, ready for this round in the Autism On-Screen Awards from Dimensions. And in this round, we're looking at the young autistic characters. So characters who relate to the autistic audience, whether they're diagnosed or not, and they're from a younger age group. So before we get started, here's a little bit about us. I'm Michelle Rebello. I'm autistic. I'm in the Involvement and Engagement Coordinator for Dimensions. I'm also an autism ambassador, and my book is called Life Will Never Be Dull. And I'm the mother of 3 autistic children.
Hello, I am one of said 3 autistic children. I am Logan, I am Michelle's son. I am a marketing assistant at Dimensions and a film editor, storyboard artist and animator for Autec, which is an organisation that makes films to help people visit new places.
Hi, I'm Chelsea. I'm autistic. I'm the Vice Chair of Dimensions Council and I'm a quality consultant for Dimensions. I am campaigning for better autism representation on screen.
Okay, so our first contender for the Autism Award portrayal is Joe from The A Word. So Chelsea, do you want to tell us a little bit about Joe?
So Joe is an autistic character, and it goes through different journeys at different ages. It's from a family perspective. He is, of course, the main character. He doesn't communicate with much conversation, but he does love his music, and it's seen throughout the whole of this series wearing his headphones.
And let's have a little look at Joe from The A Word.
Come on, kiddo, let's get these presents ripped open.
You were scared of Buzz Lightyear?
Can't think why.
I had my way, I'd flush them headphones down the toilet.
He just likes music. What? What was that look?
Nothing.
No, it was something. What was it?
It's just... You don't think Joe might have some kind of communication disorder? It's just something might be worth checking out.
This really resonated with me as a parent because in that scene, it's very clear that they'd had a conversation about Joe to themselves. And when they saw proof of what they'd been talking about, they gave each other a little look. And the mum was so acutely aware of that happening because she's looking out for people's reactions to her son. When you first go through the process of diagnosis, it can be really, really tough because sometimes people don't know what's going on and they want their child to have the best life and they don't want their child to suffer. And so watching their child suffer the opinions of others is what really makes the mum upset. In the community, there are a lot of parents out there who struggle at first, but it's often not the struggle of the autism diagnosis, it's the struggle of trying to get support for their child, getting acceptance from family members and friends and other people in society, especially when you're out in public. And also a change in your own perspective because you sort of had this idea of what motherhood would be, and suddenly it's very different and you don't understand how to help. That's very much from the parents' point of view and very much about Joe from a family perspective and the impact of a diagnosis on the family. So our next character, Julia from Sesame Street, another character who is introduced as autistic, but in a very different way, this representation, because it's very importantly for a younger audience. So unlike a lot of the characters in the Autism On Screen Awards, this one's directly aimed at Julia's peers. We have a clip of Julia to look at now.
Yeah, that was awesome. Yep, so am I.
Oh, can I see what you all painted?
Take a look.
Whoa, those are both really great. May I see your painting, Julia? Julia?
Julia? Can Big Bird see your painting?
See your painting? Yes.
Okay. Oh, all right. Take a look at this, everybody.
Oh. Wow. Julia, you're so creative.
Yeah. You're really good at painting. High five, Julia. Huh?
I've just realised that for a show that has an autistic character, Elmo has the most anti-autistic voice ever. My God, that's my ears.
Yeah, it is quite stressful.
I think with Julia, she comes. It's quite good for the people, the young audience, to grow up knowing who Julia is in the long term, to create that society thing, because Sesame Street has been going on for decades. So for the next generations and to follow, they'll see Julia on Sesame Street.
Logan, you were saying that the representation of her, that was just the introduction, and after that she's just part of the Sesame Street family, isn't she?
If they had introduced any new Sesame Street character, they would have had a scene similar, because at the end of the day, it's not just a kids show, it's for really young kids. Sometimes you do have to sort of spell it out and make things kind of a bit clear, but you know, in every other scene I've seen her in, she's just been another character. That was just the one-off episode explaining who she is, what kind of person she is, and how she communicates. And then, you know, that was sort of it.
Awesome. And I love the bit of hand flapping that she did in there as well.
Yeah.
And leaving Big Bird hanging when he wanted a high five. Okay. Unfortunately, we have in our group quite a negative portrayal of autism as seen by the community, the autistic community, and that is music from the Sia's film Music. A very, very controversial character for the autistic community. So we're going to show a clip now, but feel free to look away if you know that this representation upsets you.
Music? I'm your sister.
All she's got now is you.
So one of the reasons this film is so controversial is because of the restraining scenes, where they suggest that the best way to help an autistic person in a meltdown is to physically get on top of them and hold them down and restrain them until they feel better. And they portray this in the film as, you know, being a good thing that helps. This isn't just bad representation, this is harmful representation.
Yeah, so they actually removed the restraint scenes, didn't they? But Sia got so much negative publicity for this. She actually deleted her Twitter account after being aggressive to people who were not happy with this film.
It's just incredibly offensive, the way the sort of faces she pulls and the way she moves. I don't want to. I'll mention that I don't want any hate towards the actress for this. It is not her fault. An actor is incredibly dependent on their director to tell them what they're doing, and they follow what the director says. So I don't want anyone to hate on the actress personally for the performance she gave in this.
Yes, so I think they should have hired more people behind the scenes and on the set to have made it more representation, so that they could have learnt more better, because I'm pretty sure there's people with autism that are a bit techno, maybe they're good at camera work, editing, might like the lights, or very creative in that sort of whole thing, and they could have been involved to where she could have learned how to deal with more autistic people.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can see the difference between that portrayal and Julia from Sesame Street and Joe from the A Word, where they've included autistic families to advise them on the show. So let's finish on a high note. So very recently, a short film was released called Loop, featuring Renee, who is a very young character, ethnically diverse, which is lovely. And she doesn't use words to communicate, but she does love to hear this repetitive noise on her phone that soothes her. So let's have a look at Renee.
Alright, maybe we should... Seriously? Last time, Renee.
I love canoeing, and I think it's just incredibly fun, and it would be really fun to set a movie on a canoe trip. And I was really inspired by time I'd spent working with adults and kids with disabilities.
I absolutely adore this short film so much. You can, even without watching the behind the scenes of it, you can see the passion in it and in the animation. And I could talk about this for ages, but I won't. I will restrain myself. I just love how the other character, I'm sorry, I can't remember his name, instead of him trying to get Renee to adapt and to, fit in, quote unquote, it's him trying to understand her world, going through the reads and sort of feeling it and understanding the sensory side as to why she likes that feeling. And the noise on her phone that she keeps repeating that calms her down. He figures, well, if you like that noise, then if we go under this tunnel and it echoes, you'll like it even more. But it turns out that was the wrong thing to do because the echo in the tunnel stressed her out. This is what triggered her to have a meltdown. What this short film does brilliantly is to show, to give people their own space and their independence. They are their own people, and it is not up to you to decide when they feel better. You have to give them the time to understand their situation and come out of it by themselves. And in the short film, it goes from what looks like the morning to the evening. That's how long it took for Renee to calm down after the stressful experience. And the other kid waited that whole time, didn't talk to her, didn't touch her, just waited for her to be okay, just to make sure that she was all right. And when she did finally come out of it, he apologized. He said, "I'm sorry, I didn't realize that was going to stress you out." And at the end of the short film, they end up having a better understanding of each other and potentially becoming friends. It's so incredibly uplifting, and I love the way this is done.
Yeah, a huge contrast in portrayal to the previous one. Such empathy in this film for both of them. And it's really gentle film to watch as well.
Yeah, it's just like, woof, woof, woof. And, I think that would sort of annoy me if I had heard that. I had a friend at my old school who kept playing a song over and over again. And now when I think of her, when I hear that song, I think of her. So it's like one of those things. So that character is probably going to go woof, 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 every time he hears that sound. He's going to think of her. Yeah.
And we're not supposed to sway the vote, really, but we do have our own opinions, and and we know that it's shared by quite a lot of the community as well. But if you think we're talking rubbish, get in them on the comments and start voting as well. If you think we've got it wrong, let us know why and what's different and who else you might have chosen to join the Autism on Screen Awards. So thank you, and we'll see you for the next round.